Hi, my name is Alex. I'm calling from Argentina.
Hi, Alex. Welcome to the program. What's going on in Argentina, dude?
It's pretty crazy. The Nisman case is definitely the big thing in the news. And the big news just today was that they found in his trash can a draft of an arrest warrant for the president and some of her top cabinet members.
All right, let me just catch everybody up here on this. Alberto Nisman was a prosecutor who had accused the president of Argentina, Cristina Kirchner, of conspiring with Iran to subvert the prosecution of agents who were involved in, I think it was a 1993 terror attack.
Bombing
at a Jewish community center, which killed, was it 23 people? 83 people. And he was to testify in front of a government commission, and the day before he was to testify, he it appeared at first to committed suicide. Kirchner came out later and said that he didn't commit suicide. And now they're saying that they found, like you say, that he had drafted the details of an arrest warrant for Kirchner. I mean, there's so many different cross currents here. I don't even know what that means.
And there's a pretty good chance, in my opinion, that he was probably going to present that arrest warrant in front of Congress the next day.
And so who would have... You know, the interesting thing about this is that there's that story that Michael, you were talking about the other day, that there's been examples in the past of where people have killed themselves as a way of making it look like indicting government officials, as if they were. So
it was a crazy story from Guatemala. I'll find it for you.
Right. All right. So all right.
It's a bit extreme. I mean,
right.
It could happen, but I don't know.
I'm not saying it happened.
No, I'm not saying it's
just crazy.
But it was Rodrigo Rosenberg in 2009 in Guatemala, and we're not suggesting that it could happen here. But the only thing we're suggesting is that the most obvious explanation in these situations is not always the accurate one.
Right. No, I mean, well, okay. First of all, you said that Cristina Kirchner said that it wasn't a suicide. I'd just like to point out she's like the last person in Argentina to say that. Like, nobody thought it was a suicide to begin with.
So what do you think? I mean, what is your take? Obviously, you know, it's speculation unless it's not. But what is your take on it?
Well, I mean, there are a couple of possibilities. Like, I mean, if you listen to Cristina Kirchner, then it's these, you know, golpistas. It's these people that want to do a military coup against her, which is, you know, kind of a legitimate concern in Argentina because it happened not too long ago and has happened many times.
Right.
So if you ask her, it's definitely, you know, some kind of CIA thing with the United States or whatever. There's also the possibility that it was one of any number of people who were involved in this case, be they Irani or Argentine officials or intelligence people or whatever, who are just like, well, I don't want to go down, so they independently killed this guy. Or it could be somebody either working for or on behalf of, and possibly without the, you know, participation of the administration. I mean, there are all these possibilities. But that it was somebody who was like, I'm going to do this to protect Cristina Kirchner, I think is about an 80% chance.
Mm. And now a draft arrest warrant, would it necessarily have to have been created by Nisman? In other words, could someone have just created a draft of an arrest warrant and put it in his garbage?
I mean, that could be what happened, but I would really doubt it. I mean, okay.
I mean, let me ask you this:
there was already an accusation that Nisman had filed against Cristina Kirchner, and if he was making this case in front of Congress, would it be possible that he would be like, "I'm releasing an arrest warrant because we have overwhelming evidence," whatever? I really see that as being a much stronger possibility than somebody else putting it there to say that this was some kind of judicial coup.
I mean, look, I'm just, the whole thing I find just, I don't even know enough about it. So I'm just asking, what's it doing in his trash?
The kind of stuff you're hearing on the news here, like, I mean, there were tapped phone calls with government officials that were, talking very much like criminal conspirators. They're just like, they're just like, hey, we need to get together and talk about that thing we were talking about with that guy. The thing, thing with all those people.
Why do you call me like that, Sam?
Yeah, that's the way I talk to Michael. It's crazy.